Hi guys, my name is Wildkard, and this is the last game in the regular season of Super Rugby Trash-Tasman. We finally made it to the end. There's the final coming out next week. No Australian team is in it, thank God. And yeah, this game. First of all, I want to thank each and every one of you who watches my crappy videos, comments on them, likes the videos. I really appreciate it. Okay? If you guys weren't watching, I would not do these stupid reviews or watch any of these games. It's extremely painful, especially for an Australian fan. And this game has a few really weird things that happened I want to talk about. First of all, okay, thank you Michael Hooper, the captain of Australian Rugby, the captain of the Waratards, for not showing up for your own team. Okay? Thank you for leading the team into the ditch from your couch. Michael Hooper, thank you very much. So shout out to Michael Hooper, the greatest couch captain in the world. Longest losing streak ever in Super Rugby. And yeah, this was... And second thing, the referee in this game saw what Dolman did yesterday and went, hang on, I can do better than that, in the sense that worse than that, and gave out some cards, like business cards, and also one card in particular was extremely bad. I genuinely don't know how these people have a job as a referee. How do they... Okay, so Jordan Way, I genuinely think that maybe he saw Dolman's extremely poor performance yesterday and thought, I can do worse than that, and actually made an attempt. I still think Dolman did worse yesterday, but Jordan Way was really tried. He tried his best, and he said, hold my beer, but he didn't quite get there, okay? There was one call, there was 2 yellow cards, 1 red card in this game, and all referrals from the TMO, okay? And there was 1 yellow card in particular against the Chiefs that was just baffling to see. Baffling, okay? Let me just paint the picture for you. The Waratards player, I think it was Harrison, ran in with the ball into Chiefs. Let me try to get his name. Peter Gas Sowakula. Okay, I'm pretty sure it was Peter Gas Solakua. It may be someone else. Okay, hold on. Yes, he ran into Peter Gas Solatoa, pretty sure. Or maybe it was someone else. Anyway, I didn't write down the name. I was so baffled. Anyway, it doesn't matter who it was. Maybe it was someone else. Maybe it was Tupo Vai. I think it was Tupo Vai, actually. Anyway, Harrison runs in, right? Imagine they collided and they had a head clash. So the 2 players ran each other and there was a head collision. And the referee goes, so the game played on. And the TMO calls the referee saying we'll have a foul play. The referee have a look. Okay? There was a clear head collision. The initial contact was 2 heads colliding each other. And can you believe this? The referee says that there was contact to the head. That was a dangerous tackle. Yellow card against the Chief defender. I have never ever in my whole life seen a head collision gets yellow carded. By the way, how do they estimate that was the Chiefs player's fault? Why wasn't Harrison's fault for colliding his head onto the Chiefs player? Why is it the Chiefs player's fault colliding his head onto Harrison? I genuinely don't understand how they could have derived this conclusion. A head collision, and they somehow estimated that it was the Chiefs player's fault, the defensive player's fault, and gave him a yellow card. First time ever in the history of rugby, someone got yellow carded for an accidental head collision. This is history being made in front of our eyes. Right here, guys. This was also one of the most longest games of rugby I have ever seen in my whole life. The amount of stoppage in this game, and I'm not talking about like setting up for a scrum because the clock is running. There was like a ton of scrums in this game as well. Like 20 scrums or something in this game as well. There was drop balls everywhere. So that didn't help too much. But I'm not talking about like scrummaging. Okay, I'm talking about the referee blowing the whistle, stopping the time for like an injury or for like a TMO review. Just at the game, I literally saw the space-time, alright, stretching in front of my eyes, and I thought this game was never going to end. I literally thought I was going to be watching this game forever. The amount of stoppage at one point was more than the actual gameplay, actual game time, okay? I've written it down here. From the 60th minute to the 65th minute, there was 5 stoppages, including the head collision. There was more stoppage time than actual game time. And that was just one 5-minute period. Throughout the whole game, there was injury stoppages every 3-4 minutes. I literally thought this game was never ever going to end. Oh my god, this was torturous to watch. Jesus. And yeah. I don't know. If you ever want to see space-time being stretched in front of your eyes, go watch this game. Go watch this game. This is... yeah. Anyway, let's go from the start. I'm gonna make this quick so you don't have to feel like you're going through space-time stretching in front of you. Okay? So, from the start, the Chiefs were out-dominant. The Waratards were extremely bad this game. Okay? There was one player that played extremely well. Everybody else was just like trying to... yeah, everybody else was pretty bad. So, the only one that played as well was Nawakinatawasi. He was everywhere. He got the ball and he tried to make a play every time. And he got the ball all the time. He was all over the park, getting himself into position, trying to make breaks. He's the only one that played really, really well. Whilst Isaiah Peresi also played well, but he got injured. 10 minutes into the game, he had dislocated shoulder. But he did look really, really good as well when he was on the field for 10 minutes. He made like a run where he breaks 5 tackles, right? So outside of that, there was just drop balls everywhere for the Waratahs. There was penalties everywhere, scrum penalties for both teams. There was just breakdown penalties for both teams. And plus, on top of all these stupid penalties, there's all these TMO reviews for things that didn't even make sense. Head collisions, yellow card. I don't know. I've never seen it in my whole life. Let me know if you've ever seen it before, anywhere in the world, where a head collision is penalized. Okay? Go tell me, because this is the first ever world first. This is the world first, guys. This is a history being made. We witnessed historical precedent for a head collision to get yellow carded. Anyway, as I was mentioning, I don't want to drag on this stupid review for too long. Let's go to the points summary. So the Chiefs scored in less than 1 minute. Okay, the Waratahs had a defensive line out, like 20 meters out, and then lost the line out. Chiefs gets the ball. Just everybody in the backline touched the ball. Just pass, all the way to the wing. And Wainui, he scores the first try, runs in the corner, easy as that. First try for the Chiefs. By the way, he also set a record tonight, Wainui. And it's a good record, okay? We should all congratulate him for this. He's scored 5 tries in one game of Super Rugby. I'm pretty sure this is a record in Super Rugby. I don't think anyone has 5 tries in Super Rugby. Let me know if there is. I think that's a record. And he scores 1. And then there was repeated penalties. against the Waratards. About 10 minutes later, putting Waratards in the back foot, and there was a scrum. Chiefs had opted for a scrum. I think there was 2 scrums, in fact, opted for scrum. And then there was space out wide after when the ball comes out. So they just quickly spread the ball out wide. Gallon did a massive cardio pass, and the ball bounced on the ground. Wainui catches it like it didn't affect him at all. Catches the bouncing ball on the wing. Runs in for the second try. Easy as that. 14 minutes in, 2 tries for Waratahs. And the game got really sloppy then. I genuinely, so the Waratahs tried to stage a comeback, and the Chiefs defense were really good. There was a yellow card given against the Chiefs player for repeatedly penalties in the danger zone. So you figure that the Waratahs might get a try here. This was about 27 minutes in. So Chiefs guard had a yellow card, and the Waratahs were just on the front foot. And so Waratahs opted for a line out. They throw the line out in, not straight. And guess what? And then there's not a pause for I don't know, for not setting up a scrum, for not straight. Anyway. Then the Chiefs look like they're about to get out of trouble, but the Waratahs were able to finally capitalize. Finally able to capitalize. There was another high tackle. By the way, this high tackle, penalty against the Chiefs for high tackle. By the way, I had a look. I think the only thing that touched the person's head was like a wind, okay? Nothing even, like, it was like one of the, what do you call it? Seatbelt tackles where the Chiefs player grabbed the Waratahs kind of like an upper body list and like brought him down. Didn't even touch his head, but the referee said high tackle penalty anyway. So Waratahs gets another opportunity after, not throwing the line out straight. So he gets, they set it up finally with a line out. Quick ball comes out. They finally try something different. They did a high ball crossfield into the goal, and Nawa Kinatawasi, the guy that played extremely well, probably deserves a spot in the Wallabies team. He did extremely well this game. He's everywhere. He would have been like 30% of the run meters are probably done by this guy from the Waratahs. He runs in, jumps up, catches a high ball over the Chiefs. He looked like an AFL take, what I think they call a specky, where you jump up and you put your knee against the other player's back and you catch his ball. He kind of like did that. Like an AFL specky take. Grabbed it, comes down, lands, puts the ball down, try time. Okay, so that was the one and only try the Waratahs mustered the whole game. And that's 33 minutes in. Halftime score was pretty close, actually. Waratahs 7, Chiefs 14. So it's not the end of the world. It was the game was on. The Chiefs really fallen off quite a bit in the end of the first half after they scored 2 quick, easy tries. The Chiefs weren't had some of their best players saved on the bench, basically. Like Antonella Brown was playing. Antonella Brown's injured. I don't know, but yeah, the Chiefs fallen off a bit towards the end of the first half. Second half start, the Waratahs were having issues exiting their own half. There was a scrum, and then they had a poor exit. So Chiefs were on the attack right away inside the Waratahs half. Okay, and Chiefs just basically shift the ball from one side of the field, and then they exhausted the right hand side, and they just swing the ball back to the open side again. And there was a nice flat ball to a crash ball runner, and that runner turns around, loops the ball back inside, and that person throws a big card ball out wide to Wainui again, and he catches the ball on the wing, runs in, nobody in front of him. 4 minutes in, third try for the Chiefs by the same guy. 3 tries already, 44 minutes into the second half. And then the pressure kept building from the Chiefs. They really lifted intensity at this point. And at this point, this is where the Waratahs really started to just go down with injuries to try to slow the game down. I think that's what Andrew Merton thinks, that Waratahs wanted to slow the game down with this injury stoppage. So people would just be on the ground, getting a stretch every 3 minutes, right? Anyway, eventually the Chiefs were able to build some pressure. 11 phases. This is probably the longest building phase in the entire game without stoppage. 11 phases. They got really close to... it started with a scrum inside the Chiefs half. And there was a nice run from the Chiefs number 8, who just picked and ran the blind side. And there was a few offloads and they got the Chiefs well inside the Waratards half. And then eventually, 11 phases later, once again, there was piling pressure against Waratards. There was space out wide, draw and pass, all the way out wide. Wainui is there in the receiving end of the ball, gets the ball, goes in for the 4th try for himself and 4th try for the Chiefs at 50th minute. And then going forward from there, 50th minute, from 50 to 60 to the 70th minute, 69th minute. This is literally where space-time stretched in front of my eyes. The amount of stoppage in this period was just absurd. Absurd, as I mentioned at the start of my video. Anyway, let's not go over that again. But this is at a 63rd minute. That's where referee Jordan Way said, "Hey, here's my opportunity to be the worst referee in the world. Let's make a precedent for head collusion, yellow card." So he gave a yellow card against the Chiefs player for an accidental head collusion. Yeah, 63rd minute, and that was absolutely atrocious. Even the crowd, the Waratards home crowd, were booing. The entire stadium was booing. Okay, the fans are booing, despite the fact that the Waratards now have an advantage. The crowds were booing. This is how bad this was. The own home crowd is booing a yellow card against the opposition. You know how bad this decision was. Anyway, 69th minute, the stalemate finally kind of ended. There was a Chiefs again. We're on the attack. A nice series of phases built up, and there was a bit of, they got really close to the try line. They split the ball out wide, and the player out wide was running, and he was just getting taken out. As he was taking out, he throws the ball back in, and Florence gets the ball. He dunks the ball, and he jumps up, dunks the ball over the try line as he's getting pushed out, kind of like the Superman try sort of thing. He dunks the ball over the line. Try time, 5th try for the Chiefs at 69th minute. Okay, and then here on my notes, literally I have stoppage, scrum. There was just so there was a stoppage after a chip and chase. There was a knock on and then stop. Everyone stops. Referee pauses the clock and let's wait for 5 minutes to pack a scrum. And then there was a Lockie red card. Swinton got a red card at 75th minute. And this, by the way, was 3 minutes after the scrum stoppage, right? So there was another stoppage, TMO reviews, for a high, dangerous clean out. So basically, the Chiefs number 7 was on the ground. He's sealed over the ball. He's illegally sealed over the ball, so he had his hands on the ground. And the referee does penalize that. And Lockie Swinton is frustrated. He was also on the ground, so he tries to clean him out, and he smacks him in the head in the clean out. Sure, high shot to the head. No mitigating factor. Whatever. Red card. It wasn't not necessary for Swinton's point of view. The referee's already given advantage. You don't have to smack him again when he's in a penalized. It's already been penalized for what he's doing. So really unnecessary for Lockie. The red card, Swinton, famous for getting a red card in his Wallabies debut. But anyway, he lives up to his name, gets red carded. He might get a match suspension. Who knows? At this point, I just want the game to end. And this TMO review went for another 10 minutes. Okay, I don't know. Maybe he went for an hour. I don't know. He just kept going. This TMO review, watch this for an hour. I don't know. And then there was 2 scrums following this. And they just kept going, this game just keeps going. And at the 77th minute, there was a scrum. And Andrew Merton was like, hopefully this is last scrum of the game. A minute later, another scrum. Thanks, Andrew. Thanks, Mr. Merton. But at least the clock was running. Okay? At least the clock was running. And, there's nothing, at least the clock was running. So the game was still gonna finish in a minute. Okay? He didn't pause the clock. Finally, on 80th minute, the Wainui gets his last try for the Chiefs. The Chiefs were on the front foot. They wanted to finish strong, finish with, as all the Kiwis team do, finish with the strong. The Waratards tried to do something, and they just really poor, dropping the ball everywhere, and just ending up. Anyway, eventually the Chiefs gets Eventually, let me see what happened. Stevenson, we're just playing again. They're running, getting close to try line. Stevenson gets the ball, and he did a really nice pass. He did a really poor pass actually. He kind of juggled the ball in the air. He gets the ball. He kind of like wanted to pass, and then the ball just like boggled out of his hand, and he had to recover the ball before he was knocked on, and then throw another pass, so like a little basketball pass. And then the second pass was really poor. So Wainui had to catch this ball like on his bootlaces to just get it up. And then he runs, he jumps over, goes over for the try. He almost gets pushed out, had the mental clarity, I guess, after 80 minutes of stoppage. He managed to keep both his legs off the ground as getting pushed out, so he wasn't out in touch. Puts the ball down. 5th try for him. Record for Super Rugby. And the Chiefs won 40 points to 7. Yeah. Okay, anyway, thank God that ended, and I will be doing more videos from now on. I'm really glad that I don't have to do any of these videos for another year. So going forward, I'll be doing news videos. I'll be reviewing the international games coming up, the Wallabies announcements coming up tomorrow, team announcement for the French series. There is and also in some weeks, I'm thinking about doing like retro review where I look at good historical games that's been played. I'm thinking about, there was a game played in Rugby Championship, again played in South Africa, New Zealand versus South Africa, potentially 2015. And that was Richie McCaw's last game in South Africa, which was a really, really good game. So maybe I'll do a retro review on that one and see how you guys will like that. But anyway, thank you guys for watching my videos. These rugby games has been really tough to watch, and you guys watching my videos really meant a lot to me. And really appreciate all of everybody watching. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for the Wallabies team announcement. Thank you. Cheers.